Optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Voltron Defender of the Universe Red Lion and Lance figure exclusively from MattyCollector.com. Now, much like all the other Matty Collector exclusive, we get this nice kind of white mailing box, which is actually really big. One thing that I find interesting is that it says that it's warning, not suitable for children under 36 months. Now, it's weird that I'm seeing that a lot on new figures, where they're specifically listing months as the age requirement, I guess. They're small parts, flip around here on the back, conforms to safety standards and things of that nature. Okay, so let's get them open. We're gonna come around here. Everybody knows I do this, and I'm actually kind of wow, that is a hell of a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Now, here's Lance. We're going to set this off. It comes in there. Now, initially, if I remember correctly, these were going to be sold separately. Now they seem to be included together. And you can even see that this box here, reaching in here, has this little bit right in here. So this was definitely something that got added into this giant mailing box. And here we have them. And yeah, wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought. And that actually is a really cool display. I'm going to set Lance here in the back. That's actually a really cool display box. I really do like that. Really cool lava here effect here, which is accurate because in the cartoon series he came out of the volcano, so that's very cool. Really nice kind of drawing right there. I really love the detail on that. One of the biggest problems that I have with this, well, it really looks like it's lacking a lot of detail on it, and I'll get into that more when I actually open the figure, but I love the packaging on this. Very nice. As you can see, it says Red Lion, flip around here on the back. Red Lion is piloted by Lance. Lance is the suave, wisecracking member of the team. He may disregard orders occasionally, but he is one of the finest pilots in the galaxy. And again, here it says Lance sold separately, so this is definitely something that they decided to add in together in terms of a package deal. Lance fits inside the Red Lion and instantly transforms into Voltron's right arm, although it doesn't go into his right arm, and I'll get into that a little bit more. And then you see collect all 5 lions to create the epic 23-inch Voltron, which the size of it is what really sold me on this. And then you can see the Red Lion there, and these are kind of like faded, so that's what we have coming. But absolutely cool looking. I really do like the packaging on this, so much that I do have a second one coming that I might actually keep it in package. Then coming over here to the actual Lance figure itself, really cool packaging on this one as well. Nice open face. You see the actual figure, his alternate head, the key, which we'll get into, the animation style drawing of him, and then I love the metallic look here on the Voltron itself. I don't know how well that's coming across, but I think that's really cool looking. Flip around here on the back, shows the key that can also be used as a stand. Comes with the collect and connect blazing sword, which is another kind of added feature. Not only do you collect these to form the giant Voltron, you also collect these to form his sword, which is kind of cool. Obviously, Lance fits inside the Red Lion, and it says that Lance pilots Red Lion. Red Lion, which forms Voltron's right arm, was hidden in a pool of molten lava until all of the lions were found and Voltron was needed once more. So very kind of cool. Another really nice package. So there we have the Red Lion and we have Lance. So let's get these guys open and see how cool they actually are. Okay guys, so here we have Lance and the Red Lion opened up and out of its packaging. And starting things off first, he does come with a fair amount of accessories. He comes with this kind of blade weapon, which I'll show off here in a minute. He also comes with the first half, the hilt portion of the blazing sword. Really kind of cool. I do really like it. Very simple, but very kind of cool looking still. And you can see that this is, I mean, I'm basically able to grab hold of this thing. So this is going to be a really big sword. I'm really excited about this. Then we come over to the Lance figure, and as you can see, he does come with the stand, which is part of the kind of gimmick. The stand itself, although it looks like it's kind of got a stress mark on there, I don't know why, but it does work as a stand for him. And then it has the gimmick later on where it can open this up, and I'll show that in a second. But Lance itself is actually a really nice looking figure. Now, a lot of people have kind of complained about these little white dots on here, and yeah, they are kind of weird looking. They really do kind of look like joint pegs, I suppose. But in general, I don't think it looks all that terribly bad. Now, I do have some kind of paint issues on. He looks dirty. I mean, I might be able to wipe that off. like you see right down here. Yeah, that's just kind of smeared, but it's not very clean. But overall, very nice looking. In terms of his articulation, his head will rotate from left to right, and a really cool head sculpt on it. I really like the way that looks. Very nice detail. The arms are on this, not a ball joint, but kind of like a pin and socket joint where they rotate in and out, rotate all the way around. He bends at the elbow, and he also rotates at the elbow, so a good range of motion there. Nothing going on at the waist. His legs move in and out. They don't move back, but they move forward. He bends at the knee, although that's as far as he bends. That's kind of crappy, but because of the mold here on the back of the thigh, that's as far as it can move. But it can also rotate. One thing that I've seen other people kind of complain about is he's got this weapon that's kind of glued in. I really do wish that they actually gave him a weapon, something that he can actually hold, because his hand is open, so you know he could hold it if he really wanted to. And then you got the Voltron logo right up here. Really cool. I really definitely like that. This is actually a really impressive figure. I'm really thrilled with it. Very nice. And then his head is on this ball joint, but it's kind of a long peg, and it's fairly thin, so you definitely have to be careful with it. And then you can peg this on, and here you have him now with his helmet, which is absolutely wonderful. Unlike the vintage figures where, you know, you had the head and then you would put the helmet over it, making the helmet look really big. I really love the way this looks. Oh, he also rotates here at the waist. I didn't notice that before. So yeah, he does have waist articulation. Zooming in a little bit more, you can see that the goggles are very nice translucent blue plastic. I really do like that. You got the little triangle logo out there, and again, there's the Voltron symbol. Very cool looking. I really do like the figure. It's really impressive. Now, some people were complaining about this being like $15 separately initially. I am glad that they included it with the red line, because you really need them. And on to the key itself. It is, like I said, part of a gimmick. You come around here to the top, you put it inside here, and this actually can open up just like so. And you see that he's got a cockpit for Lance to ride in. On the inside, you see some nice sticker details. I really do wish that they actually molded those in, as opposed to putting stickers in there. Some more flash or no dirt look or something there. But you got a nice display stand on the, or I'm sorry, display screen here on the top. Again, a sticker, and then on the other side, you also have an identical sticker, much like the opposite side. And it really does kind of suck that they decided to go with stickers. I know, in terms of like larger scale vehicles, I know it's harder to mold that kind of stuff in, but they're definitely capable of doing it. That's one kind of minor nitpick I have. And then you just kind of fold them, and then you can actually have them sit right inside the actual cockpit, and you can have Lance riding them, and it will still close. Just bring these up, and now he's completely inside the red line, able to pilot it. And I'm going to leave him in there because now we're going to talk about the red line itself. Now, in terms of his articulation, it's really kind of dependent. I mean, his mouth opens and closes, and this is where you can bring this in, and this kind of pegs here, and it's kind of weird how he holds it, but he does kind of hold it, and he just carries it around in his mouth, which is kind of neat. And then you can kind of see little peg holes here at the bottom where he, you know, just fits that kind of with his teeth, I suppose, and then, you know, you just close it. But, I mean, that's something, but because, you know, this is a little bit springy, well, it's not even springy, it's just really kind of tight right up in there, so it holds it fairly well. Now, his head will rotate, but this is, listen to that joint. That, it sounds like I'm breaking it. I mean, that is a ridiculously tough joint that doesn't sound so bad going this way, but when you go that way, it seriously sounds like something's going to break. And I would be very surprised if I didn't open this up and actually see some kind of stress marks on the actual ratchet joint. So that really kind of sucks. The arms are articulated. They move forward and back. They bend here, they kind of flex here, and then there's the gimmick, and you can kind of see that there's some spring in here. These back legs also do the same thing, but I already have a problem with mine where it looks like the actual spring is coming out of the inside here, and I don't know if I can push that up in there or what, but all the other joints don't have that exposed, so that really does kind of suck. And then he also, I mean, he also rotates like this, but again, this is going to form the right arm of Voltron, so you can get a good range of motion here. Unfortunately, he does not rotate at all at the waist. So in terms of a big giant arm, that's going to suck, how there's absolutely no kind of elbow rotation. Now the biggest gimmick with this, obviously, is the fact that he can form the right arm of Voltron. So all you have to do that, fold this up, just like so, bring this up, fold these little bits back like that, bring this around, locks into, well, sort of locks into place. There we go. There we go. And you can kind of already see some of the problems that this is going to have. Then take this, fold this out. This little bit here folds down and tucks inside there, and then you have to hold it down and then close this. And now you basically have his arm. You have to take this little bit here, and as you can see, that's one of the problems. Rotate that down, and there you go again. And here you have the right arm for Voltron. And again, this thing is going to be gigantic. I'm really kind of happy about how big it is. And then you take the blazing sword, and you can put this inside there, and this giant peg right here just kind of slots right inside there. There we go. And then he holds it, and you can see again, he's going to have a massive sword. That's really kind of cool. I'm very excited about it. But as you can see, now watch, I'm going to just hold here. Now, you barely touch, at least this back one on mine, you barely touch it and it pops out. Oh, well, that, I didn't mean to hit that button. But there you see the problem, that you have to be careful where you're holding things, otherwise it's going to, revert back to lion mode. So you take this and then you move this, and it works okay, but again, you have to be very careful, and the unfortunate thing is, this is where his button is to get these back legs to peg out. That is kind of annoying. And again, one of the things is that he's not going to have any kind of rotation up here, so that's really kind of going to suck. You're going to have to rely entirely on this rather scary joint here, and as you can see, in doing so, it made the leg pop out here on the back. So let's see if I can replicate that. Oh, yep, there it is. So that really kind of sucks, and I don't even want to. Yeah, see, that just doesn't hold in very good. So that's a very poor design, if you ask me, especially with this neck and these not being all that secure inside there. Now, my biggest problem with this entire thing is that, now you can put this back up and that flops out again. The biggest problem that I have with this is that as a kid, it was more exciting seeing Voltron go into, well, the lions specifically go into Voltron mode, not the other way around. Yet that's what this gimmick allows you to do. By pushing this button, and the initial videos had you taking this and pushing this, you don't need to do that, and that looks really weird because that's a very unfortunate spot for these legs. So you just push the button in, and they come flying down, but then you still have to finalize the transformation and kind of angle them down like that. Come around here, and then this, you lift this, and that flips out. So then you have to take this, put that back down, and then push this, and these come out, and these are a little bit better, but then you still have to pose them. So you get him transforming back into his lion mode, which isn't really all that impressive to me. You know, the cool thing as a kid was watching the lions form Voltron, not go in reverse. So that's one really kind of unfortunate aspect. It would be much cooler if you could push a button and have them fling back in, but I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know if that was too complicated or what the deal was, but it's more fun forming Voltron than forming the lions. On top of that, the detail on here really isn't all that great. I mean, for a collector figure, it's really kind of lackluster. Now, by comparison, here is the much smaller, obviously, Masterpiece Voltron. Now, as you can see, I really do like the kind of silver paint on the legs. I really wish that was something that this had, because this just looks like plastic. It doesn't look like a giant metal robot. And then one of the biggest things is, obviously, it says number 2 right here. That says nothing right there, which is kind of lame. And then obviously, you know, I mean, this thing can like rotate all over the place. So when you form his arm, you can see that it rotates here at 2 spots. Rotates here right above the elbow, and then also rotates below the elbow. So it's really kind of unfortunate that they couldn't include something very similar to this on a much bigger scale figure. One thing that I also just did was I tried removing the head from it, and in doing so, I pulled off the whole helmet for Lance. That's kind of goofy. Come on, there we go. So, definitely watch out for that, guys. That's kind of screwy, I guess. I don't even know what to say about that. That's kind of strange, but you could take the head out, I guess. Maybe they designed it like that. I don't know. So now you can have them kind of like this with his helmet. I don't know. That's kind of a added feature that I just discovered. I don't think that they actually meant for that to happen. It's really kind of funny to me. Here, let's see if I can. No, I can't do it on that side because his gun's there. Now you're left with kind of a weird, creepy headpiece right there. But, I mean, that kind of actually looks cool. So it makes me even like that even more because of a potential screw-up. I don't know. All in all, this set is not too terribly bad. There are some minor problems with it that I have, such as the stickers and the lack of detail on the line itself. But I really do appreciate what they were trying to do with it. When it comes down to it, though, this set really is actually kind of expensive. This is definitely an adult collector piece. This guy here, I think, is $35, and this one is $15. So together, you're paying $50 for this set. And these are the cheapest lines that you're going to be able to get because they're the arms. The blue and yellow line are going to be more expensive, and the black one is going to be a lot more expensive. So you really do have to make a decision whether or not you're actually committed to spending that much money. Overall, though, I mean, believe it or not, I'm actually really kind of happy with this set. I was really kind of on the fence when I initially got it, and I was kind of regretting it after I saw some other video reviews. Now, it does have some minor problems, especially with the whole spring-loaded leg gimmick. Hopefully that's not something that's going to be indicative of everybody's figures. And the other thing that sucks is we got to wait a whole year before we're going to be able to complete Voltron, because these come out like every other month. So if you got the money, the time, and the patience, then I would actually recommend picking these guys up. Unfortunately, right now they're sold out through MattyCollector.com, but if you go online, you should be able to find them at places like Big Bad Toy Stores and things of that nature, where unfortunately you're going to pay a little bit more money. So there you guys have Lance with the Red Lion. I want to thank you for tuning in. Until next time, this has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.